What's up, everybody, and welcome to my TNA IMPACT Wrestling review. Once again, for I don't know how long in New York City, but pretty much the show is big tonight. MVP Kenny King and Bobby Lashley came out. As MVP talked about, Bobby Lashley is the pretty much TNA champion right now, and he's supposed to be in a Bellator MMA fight as well coming up this month. He's pretty much on the phone, and pretty much no one is tougher than Lashley says. Nobody's tougher than him. But Samoa Joe came out and pretty much said, yeah, he's a tough specimen, but let's see if you can get rid of your hype man, see how tough you really are, instead of having these clowns right here. And pretty much talking about being a champion and everything. And he says, why don't we put the titles aside and we'll see who the toughest is around here tonight. And pretty much because Joe said he was the toughest person in this building. And pretty much there was going to be a match tonight, but Kenny King got in Joe's face and was on the mic, but Joe dropped him, and then pretty much all three of them started jumping. Joe and security tried to come out and break all of them up then until they went to commercial. So it's a bit of a good brawl right there, I'll say that. Gail Kim winning against Terrence Terrell for the Knockouts Championship, since it was technically the rubber match. And don't get me wrong, it's been a great feud for what they've been doing, and the past matches were good. Pretty much Gail Kim was able to retain her title, hitting a reverse after the crossbody, pretty much reversed and got the pin over Terrence Terrell. So it was a pretty good match, I'll say that. Pretty much is good. Pretty much one of the best knockout type of matches on the show. And then Havok came out, the debut of Havok. Pretty much, well, I believe Jessica Havok from the indie scene. She pretty much came out and pretty much beat up both of Terrell and Gail Kim. Pretty much choke slamming them and then like a cradle shock on them. So she pretty much took out both women then for the debut of Havok. I don't know how it's gonna go. Sometime, I guess it's a good debut because you have them come out and attack top people, I guess. Even though she had nothing to do with this whole thing, probably something will happen because I guess they're getting more knockouts around here now. So I guess Havok will be a good addition. But she has a long way to go through to get better around here. The bromance is some, I don't know what the bromance did on top of some roof with cell phones having some competition. EC3 came out and talked to the crowd then, and talked about what he did last week. He's sick of everyone for trying to give his money, and pretty much blamed the fans for what happened to his Aunt Dixie, and pretty much he got rid of Rhino, and he demanded things, he says. He said he's not going to end his violence against people until he gets his demands for, number one, terminate Bully Ray's contract. Number two, end the whole world of extreme and hardcore. It's outdated. Stop living in the past. And pretty much the third thing, you want to respect and tired of people saying, you can't wrestle. And pretty much when he's chanting, he says, I disagree. And he says, I'm better than you. And pretty much when I say, I'm the best wrestler in the world, he says, until people started chanting CM Punk then. And after that, Rhino pretty much came out of the crowd. He took down Rockstar Spud and attacked EC3 then. But was able to get out of the arena, and pretty much he told EC3 he was going to beat the hell out of him tonight. And EC3, your opponent tonight is Rockstar Spud. Brittany was looking at Sam Shaw for some reason as pretty much Gunn Shaw winning against Magnus and Bram. Magnus and Bram pretty much won the match. It was a roll-up. Shaw tried to break it out, but it wasn't done in time. So it was like, I don't know, it was a whatever match right there. I don't know why it happened. MVP was talking to Bobby Roode in the back, talking about who he's fighting for. It says he used to be his friend. He said he was his friend, but you're his enemy and stuff. And pretty much Roode was pretty much pissed at him, and MVP pretty much walked off there and kind of questioned Roode or what he was doing. Pretty much Eric Young wins Bobby Roode in for a #1 contender spot for the TNA Championship. So It was an alright match. It wasn't long, but it was a good match to what it was. So, pretty much Bobby Roode hit the Rude Bomb, won the match, come to number one contender, shook hands with pretty much Eric Young then. Team 3D pretty much made their stipulation for next week's match in these whole tag team series, as it'll be a tables match. Since they call themselves the Masters of the Tables, we shall see what happens, because you got the Wolves, the tag team champions, and the Master of the Ladders, the Hardy Boys. El Tigre went against Manic, went against Homicide, went against Crazy Steve, went against DJ Z. That's it here, no low-key. And for some reason, I don't know where they're doing all these X Division matches every week, but they're getting random as hell now around here with these X Division matches. It's just like, okay, this happens, that happens, this happens, that happens. I'm not understanding what they're doing all the X Division matches right now. Because it's just like it's the same thing every week, and they're just going back and forth for some type of title shot or something. But Homicide was able to get the win, hit the Gringo Killer on Manic, winning the match. And after that, the Great Sonata and James Storm came out. Pretty much Sonata told them to go after Storm told Sonata to get Manic, and pretty much he kicked Manic in the face and bowed down to him and threw him out the ring. And then they dragged him to the back then by his feet somewhere. Austin Aries then came out then and told James Storm and Sonata that he was pissed at what they did last week, and spit in his face, the miss, and he wanted his payback, he says. And he wanted to fight him. And Sonata and Storm came out for some reason after they just dragged Manic to the back 5 minutes ago somewhere. I thought we would have seen something with that. Since he dragged them back somewhere, why were they back out? What they do, just drop them off somewhere, we'll come back for them later or something? And pretty much Storm said that Sonata's the greatest thing that's coming out of Japan right now. And pretty much, Eric said, you guys talk about great this and great that, but he says he's the common denominator of greatness in professional wrestling, and that is Austin Aries, he says. And pretty much Aries told Sonata, you want to listen to James Storm, you're a marked man, he says, but he said he wasn't going to fight them alone because he's always had the odds against him, but he had some help from Japan. And pretty much the return of Tajiri. Tajiri was back. He pretty much came out there hitting buzzsaw kicks on Sonata, pretty much him and Aries throughout Storm and Sonata then. So Tajiri was back. I might have to bring out the Great Muta again, but seeing I guess seeing Tajiri again looks cool. Hey, Tajiri still looks the same. Don't get me wrong. Tajiri still looks the same. Tajiri doesn't like he ages. He's still the same person last time I remember. Still hitting those Japanese buzzsaw kicks on people. So, it's good to see him back again. I didn't think he'd be back in TNA, but because I forgot about Tajiri after a while, but Tajiri is back. So, it's good to see him back again in wrestling. But I think he was in Japan doing something already, but he's back now. Next week, Chris Melendez will make his Impact Wrestling in-ring wrestling debut. He's going to make next week. So I don't know where that's going to go. I'm hoping this kid's really good. I've seen, as I showing the clips and showing him wrestling with one leg, I want to see if he has it. So I'm kind of looking forward to what they're going to do next week with Chris Melendez then. Rhino went against Spud. Rhino won, hit the gore as Spud tried to get a trash can, so it looked like a whatever match in a way, but Rhino won. Samoa Joe went against Bobby Lashley. I guess he was the toughest man around here. Pretty much it was a really good match. Kenny King came out, got on the top rope. Joe threw him off, and pretty much after that, Lashley was able to spear on Samoa Joe, win the match. It was pretty much a good main event, I'll say that. And pretty much a show next week with the tag team series happening here with the Hardys, the Wolves, and Team 3D in a tables match. And pretty much it'll be the in-ring debut for Chris Melendez. But after seeing tonight, we had the debut of Havok tonight, and we had the return of Tajiri, and Bobby Roode is the new #1 contender for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and pretty much Samoa Joe going against Bobby Lashley tonight. So it was solid of good TNA IMPACT Wrestling tonight. You know, this company is just, I don't know where they're going at this point. Need to just still get their shit together in a way. So we're hoping for the best with that. But it was, I say it was a pretty much good episode of TNA IMPACT Wrestling tonight. I enjoyed the show. It was good. Tajiri just pretty much came out of surprise to me, really, to what happened. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Once again, you know, it's me, the HOOD, coming with the news reviews. You know I am, you know what I do. Keeping it sane, squishing the spleen, wearing neon green. So we're done with this today. And we're now done with this review of TNA. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace, live reactions, and check out past reviews, and comment, and subscribe. See you guys later. Out of here.